Alcatrazz. Alcatrazz is a heavy metal band formed in 1983 by Graham Bonnet, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Gary Shea. Following an internal disagreement and split in 2020, there are currently two separate and distinct Alcatrazz lineups, one featuring Bonnet and another featuring Waldo and Shea. Alcatrazz are best known for their songs Island in the Sun, Hiroshima Mon Amour, and God Blessed Video. The band went through a number of lineup changes, with Bonnet being the only member to be in every incarnation of Alcatrazz. They are also notable for featuring a previously unknown Yngwie Malmsteen, who was the guitarist of Alcatrazz during 1983–1984 and was subsequently replaced by Steve Vai, and Danny Johnson in the original incarnation of the band Up. Joe Stump became the Alcatrazz guitarist when the band reformed, and remains the guitarist in the Waldo-Shea line-up of Alcatrazz. In June 2021, Loomis was announced as the guitarist in the Bonnet line-up of Alcatrazz. After breaking up in 1987, Bonnet toured from 2006 to 2014 as Alcatrazz featuring Graham Bonnet with various lineups before a one-off reunion show in 2017 led to Bonnet and Waldo reforming the band once more in 2020, with Shea rejoining shortly after. From their inception in 1983 until 2020, Alcatrazz released 4 studio albums: No Parole from Rock and Roll 1983, Disturbing the Peace 1985, Dangerous Games 1986, and Born Innocent 2020. Several months after the release of Born Innocent, Bonnet and the other 4 members of Alcatrazz, Waldo-Shea-Stump and drummer Mark Benquechea, announced a split from one another, with both camps intending to continue to record music under the name Alcatrazz. The Waldo-Shea-Stump-Benquechea camp announced that Doogie White was now their lead singer and released the studio album V in October 2021. Meanwhile, Bonnet announced that he was moving forward once again with his own version of Alcatrazz. In June 2021, Loomis was announced as the guitarist for the Bonnet line-up of Alcatrazz, with a new studio album due to be released in late 2021/early 2022. History. The band's initial lineup consisted of former Rainbow singer-frontman Graham Bonnet, young Swedish guitarist Yngwie Malmsteen, who had recently left the American metal band Steeler, Gary Shea, and Yngwie Waldo from New England, and Clive Burr of Iron Maiden fame. Burr was reportedly only in the band for a week, and left upon discovering the band was going to be based in the United States as opposed to his native England. Burr was soon replaced by former Iron Butterfly drummer Jan Uvina, who had just left Alice Cooper's backing band. She dubbed the group Alcatrazz. For the first album, the bulk of the material was written by Bonnet and Malmsteen, with Waldo contributing to several tracks. The band's debut album, No Parole from Rock and Roll, was released in late 1983 on Rocksher Records. Decent support was given by MTV to the lead single, Island in the Sun, which showed a heavy Rainbow influence. Despite the commercial nature of the song, it received little radio play. The album nonetheless spent 18 weeks on the Billboard charts and peaked at number 148. A second video released in 1984 for Hiroshima Mon Amour became popular in Japan. Rothsire then released Live Sentence 1984, a concert recording with songs from both concerts of the recent tour of Japan at the Nakano Sun Plaza in Tokyo on January 28, 1984. Being discontent with the sonic qualities of the recording, Malmsteen tried to prevent the release of the album but failed. Some Rainbow covers were included, including Since You've Been Gone. The album peaked at number 133 in the U.S. A live video concert was also produced. During this period, internal turmoil began surfacing within the band between Malmsteen and Bonnet. According to Malmsteen, Bonnet had become fed up with the attention drawn to his guitar playing from fans over Bonnet's vocals. According to Malmsteen, their professional relationship ended with the two having an altercation on stage after Bonnet allegedly tampered with Malmsteen's amplifiers during a guitar solo and Since You've Been Gone at a show in Oklahoma. This resulted in Malmsteen yelling at and arguing with Bonnet, Bonnet poking Malmsteen in the stomach with his microphone stand, and finally with Malmsteen punching Bonnet, all taking place on stage. Following this, Malmsteen left Alcatrazz and created his own band called Rising Force, who signed with Polydor Records and released a successful self-titled debut album. Waldo replaced Malmsteen with former Frank Zappa guitarist Steve Vai, despite resistance from Bonnet, and the band signed with Capitol Records after Rockshire was shut down following the owners being arrested for the embezzlement of millions of dollars. With Steve Vai, the group worked on new material and then headlined another tour of Japan, which introduced Vai to the fans and allowed them to play new material from the upcoming album. A concert video was filmed from these dates. The band released Disturbing the Peace in the spring of 1985. The album was produced by Eddie Kramer, who had worked with Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and Triumph, among others. God Blessed Video was the first single and video, yet MTV barely played it. The album peaked at number 145 and charted for 16 weeks. Alcatrazz, however, could never break out of their small following, and had to cut a tour short due to financial problems. Steve Vai left to join David Lee Roth's solo band in 1986. The split was on good terms, as it was an offer Vai could not refuse. He was replaced by guitarist Danny Johnson, who recorded what became Alcatrazz's final studio album, Dangerous Games, released in the fall of 1986. The album had covers of The Animals' song It's My Life, one of the only rock-oriented tunes, and Marbles. Bonnet had been a member of Marbles in the late 1960s when they had this hit in the UK. The Dangerous Games album failed to chart, and shortly afterward, Johnson also quit to join the band Private Life. Disheartened by an ever-revolving door of guitarists and dwindling album sales, they split up in 1987. In 1998, the Renaissance Records label issued The Best of Alcatrazz, a look back at the band's brief career. God Blessed Video appeared in the 2002 video game soundtrack Grand Theft Auto: Vice City, playing on fictional rock station V-Rock. Bonnet reformed his version of the band as Alcatrazz, featuring Graham Bonnet with guitarist Howie Simon, Jeff Scott Soto Band, Talisman, drummer Glenn Sobel Impelatory, Beautiful Creatures, Tony Mac Alpine, and bassist Tim Luce, and toured Japan in May and June 2007, sharing the headline with another ex-Rainbow vocalist, Joe Linton. Howie Simon revealed in a recent interview that it was his suggestion to bring back the Alcatrazz name. They also headlined the Berk Rock Festival in Berkovica, Bulgaria in July 2008, and have played various West Coast U.S. dates, including support slots for Y&T. Alcatrazz continued to perform live occasionally until 2014. In March 2017, three-fifths of the original lineup, Bonnet, Waldo, and Shea, reunited for 3 shows in Japan, which also included Conrado Pessinato and Mark Benquechea on guitar and drums, respectively. The performances were recorded for the live album/DVD Parole Denied Tokyo 2017, which was released on December 7, 2018. In February 2019, Bonnet confirmed that he had once again resurrected Alcatrazz with a new lineup featuring himself, Waldo and Benquechea, as well as guitarist Joe Stump and bassist Beth Ami Heavenstone. She briefly became the band's first female member, having been in Bonnet's namesake band. This lineup had planned to record a new album together, which was also said to be including contributions from Chris Impelatory, Bob Kulick, Dario Malo, and former Alcatrazz guitarist Steve Vai. Heavenstone was replaced on bass in January 2020 by a returning Gary Shea. Alcatrazz's first studio album in 34 years, Born Innocent, was released on July 31, 2020. On December 4, 2020, it was announced Alcatrazz had parted ways with vocalist Graham Bonnet and had recruited vocalist Doogie White following conflicts regarding the band's management. Within a few hours after this announcement, Bonnet announced that he would still be recording and performing with Alcatrazz, with a new lineup to be announced in the spring of 2021 and a new album in the works. Bonnet later clarified that one of the reasons behind the split was the remaining members of the Born Innocent lineup wanted to only tour with his former manager Giles Lavery, and added, he also stated that he was not bothered by the existence of two bands named Alcatrazz, had no plans to relinquish the band name, and referred to his replacement Doogie White as a good friend and a damn fine performer. On June 4, 2021, the first single from the white-fronted Alcatrazz, Turn of the Wheel, was released. A few days later, Jeff Loomis' Nevermore, Sanctuary was announced as the guitarist for the Bonnet-led lineup, now referred to as Graham Bonnet's Alcatrazz. On July 23, 2021, the white-fronted version of Alcatrazz released another single, Sword of Deliverance, and announced that their fifth album, titled V, would be released on October 15, 2021. Music videos were released for the singles Turn of the Wheel on June 4, 2021, and Sword of Deliverance on July 23, 2021. Personnel. Current members: Jimmy Waldo keyboards, synthesizers, Keter, piano, backing vocals 1983, 1987, 2017, 2019 present. Gary Shea bass, backing vocals 1983, 1987, 2017, 2020 present. Mark Benquechea drums 2017, 2019 present. Joe Stump guitars 2019 present. Doogie White lead vocals 2020 present. Graham Bonnet's Alcatrazz. Graham Bonnet lead vocals 2006, 2014, 2021 present. 1983, 1987, 2017, 2019, 2020 in Alcatrazz. Jeff Loomis guitars 2021 present. Former members: Yngwie Malmsteen guitars 1983-1984, Clive Burr drums, percussion 1983, died 2013. Jan Uvina drums, percussion, backing vocals 1983-1987, Steve Vai guitars, backing vocals 1984-1986, Danny Johnson guitars, backing vocals 1986-1987, Jay Davis bass 1987, Conrado Pesinato guitar 2017, Beth Ami Heavenstone bass 2019-2020. Alcatrazz featuring Graham Bonnet. Howie Simon guitars, backing vocals 2006-2014, Tim Luce bass, backing vocals 2006-2014, Glenn Sobel drums, percussion, backing vocals 2006-2009, Dave D. Zielak drums, percussion 2009-2010, Jeff Boders drums, percussion 2010-2011, Bobby Rock drums, percussion, backing vocals 2011-2014. Timeline. Lineups. Discography. Studio albums. Live albums. Compilations. Singles. Videos. Metallic Live VHS 1984. No Parole from Rock and Roll Tour Live in Japan 1984.1, 28 DVD reissue 2010. Power Live VHS 1985. Disturbing the Peace Tour Live in Japan 1984.10, 10 DVD reissue 2010.